A very good morning to you. Welcome to my thought for the day. My thought today concerns a name that occurs in this narrative here in Luke chapter 23, verse 26, where it says, "And as they led him away, led Jesus away, they seized one Simon of Cyrene, who was coming in from the country, and laid him on the cross to carry it behind Jesus." As they were walking out of Jerusalem, Jesus bearing the cross, he was too weak to carry it, and they took this man out of the crowd, Simon of Cyrene. Now, Cyrene was a city. Cyrene, I don't know if it's pronounced Ene, it's always been Ene to me, Cyrene. He's mentioned by name. Quite interesting, really, because a lot of people who are involved in this trial and everything are not named. We don't know who the soldiers were. We don't know who the people who beat Jesus were. We don't know the people who stood either side of him when he was in chains. We don't know if he was in chains. We don't know that either. But this man is named. Cyrene was a place on the north coast of Africa, somewhere in Libya. It had a colony of Jews living there that had been there probably about 150 years, and it seems likely that, and there is evidence that there was a synagogue in Jerusalem that belonged to the Jews of Cyrene, and they used to worship there when they were in Jerusalem. He may well have come regularly to Jerusalem for special occasions like the Passover feast. But he was identified by his origins and called in the Gospel Simon of Cyrene to distinguish him from Simon Peter and the other Simons that are mentioned. But it's interesting, isn't it, that this man who did this one thing is named. And it just says to me the importance of what we may think are strange accidents of circumstance. He happened to be the person who was picked out of the crowd by the soldiers to carry the cross. We may think it was an arbitrary choice. It could have been anybody, but it was this man. And he is named. He is honoured for the part he played in these events of the first Easter. And we may think that things happen to us by chance. A chance meeting or a chance encounter or a chance exchange of words, whatever. But actually God is in these things and behind these things. And it does say, I think in Mark's Gospel, that Simon of Cyrene was the father of Alexander and Rufus. And there's mention of a Rufus in the end of Romans, the book of Romans. And we think that Mark was in Rome when he wrote down the remembrances of Peter, which became Mark's Gospel. And why would you mention this man, Simon, was the father of Alexander and Rufus in a document, except that these men were known to the church. So there is evidence, some evidence that Simon's life was changed completely by this experience that he had of carrying the cross of Jesus. He may well have come to Jerusalem several times during the ministry of Jesus. He may well have known about Jesus. I think it would be unlikely that any Jews of that period did not know the things that were happening in Jerusalem. The Jewish community met up quite frequently for major festivals. And we have no evidence for it except putting his name down and his sons, who one of them was known to the Roman Church. But I don't think I think Simon was specifically named because he was known to people in the church. And this was where his faith journey started, when he did this for Jesus. And he saw the suffering of Jesus. He would have seen, he was in the crowd watching, and he saw, and he knew who Jesus was, and he knew what Jesus had done, and he knew that Jesus was innocent. And his life was transformed. And it says to me this other thought, that whether or not someone is named in the scriptures for the things that they did for Jesus or with Jesus, that our names are known, that our names are written in the book of life. God knows you and me by name. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thought. Out of all the millions and millions of people who have ever lived, God the Father knows you and me by name. He has that intimate concern for us. We are his children. We are his family. We mean so much to him that he sent Jesus to die for us. This is infinite love that we are reading about together, that we're looking at together. This is infinite love. This journey to the cross. At any moment, Jesus could have escaped what was coming. He could have escaped it at any moment. He could have called legions of angels to save him, but he didn't. He walked the walk to the cross for you and me. And Simon of Cyrene was privileged to help him. My thought for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.